Thank you for choosing our Patio Heat channel. I'm Steve. We provide tips and information to extend the enjoyment of your patio project. Our videos give you a knowledgeable overview prior to investing in your outdoor heating equipment. Whether you are a professional or owner-builder, we provide specific details for optimum heat coverage for your application. Post a comment or question, or for developed visual designs, send your request into designs@patioheat.com. We're here to work with you. For over 30 years, patio heating is the bedrock of our business, expressing what works best. Now let's get heating. All right, so here we have this commercial application. Let me go ahead and turn this off. So I have a little delay with some of my software right now, so please pardon that. But let's go ahead and look at the overall dimensions of this project. I'm going to go ahead and move out here and just pull this overall dimensions. You can see here we have 13 feet in this section here, and then over here you can see we have 28 feet. Here on this bottom edge of the awning section here, we have 10 feet from the finished floor here. And then over here we have 12 feet to the top section over here to the finished floor right about here. You can see that we do have a door that opens into the seating area around here. And I have that at 7 feet off the finished floor right now. So let's go ahead and look at what we might be able to do. I also want to show you one other thing here, and that is the square footage is about 364 square feet. Of space that's being occupied. All right, they did mention that there is going to be a beam, and I believe that beam they're talking about is going through the center, but I'm going to show something that might not fit in that exact spot. Also, I'm assuming that there's some drop downs on this side here and maybe in the front side here that will cover the entire patio section. So there's going to be some changes as far as the type of heater that I recommend and or control panel for that purpose alone. Also, you can see that there's plenty of seating in here, and the human body does put out heat. So when you enclose a section like here and here to where it's very well protected from the elements, you'll need to drop down some of that energy being utilized for that scenario. So let's go ahead and look at what my preferred option would be, and that would be utilizing units so that they are going parallel. Let's see if I can do this here. So that they're actually going parallel with the main structure here. Now, if you mounted these 3 units here on the wall, then you can only go down to a 45-degree tilt. So from here, 45 degrees up, and you wouldn't be hitting this particular seating position at all. So that's why I'm placing them where I actually have them here. We have 6 of the 4,000 watts here, and 6 of the 4,000 watts, excuse me, that's 3 and 3 of the 4,000 watts on both sides. Now, if you're not going to use a control panel, I would probably switch these to 3,000 watts on this particular side, just because the intensity is going to be quite warm when when it's full, and when the sides are enclosed with some screen enclosure or something of that nature. But let's go ahead and look at the footprint of heat. With these 6 units total. You can see that we're heating up the entire space very, very well, and I think this would be the most excellent for the entire space here. Let's go ahead and I'm going to take off the top here for a second and just kind of look at what it might look like. So you can see here, let's see if I can maneuver it properly. Here you can see that we are heating up all of the space here, center, everything here just perfectly with these 6 units. And I'm going to go ahead now and show if we were to eliminate possibly 3 of these units. I'm going to go ahead and just delete that here here, and I'm going to take these 3 here and then just move them down approximately, centered position. Let's see if I can grab that other one here properly. And let's see here. There we go. And so let's go ahead and just move those more into the center location. And now the center location is not bad. However, if you were to be sitting out here on this outer edge here, you're not going to be in that perfect amount of ray that you'd like to feel. However, you would feel some of the warmth, and it would be okay. So you could go with the 3 units like this, but it would not be my favorite because you're really not heating up that outer space here properly. Just another thing, if I was to show, the sunlight, here you can see, I'm going to turn off the ray here for a second. So you can see the shadow here of the structure. If I was to actually move this over, you can see it completely different here. So I can show you over here. Let's just say you're standing here, it's a 65-degree day, you're standing here in the shadow of the sunlight. You would not feel the warmth of the sun, but if you were to stand right here, the air temperature still is 60 degrees and you would feel the warmth of the sun. And that is kind of how infrared light waves work. If you're in the sunlight, you would feel the warmth. If you're in the ray itself, you would feel the warmth of the ray. And so that's why I am suggesting that the 6 units be installed total, because ultimately that would be the best application. Let's go ahead and turn that off and look at the other option. The other option I was looking at is placing 4 of the 4,000 watt Slimline units going parallel with each one of these beams going across here. Now the problem I see here is that these beams are at an angle, and the heater itself must be at a level, completely level. If you don't have it level, then what will happen is the actual element itself will start to, let's see if I can get into there. So here's the element itself, and if you were to have this at an angle, the wiring inside that element would slope downhill and destroy the unit in just a few, usage, maybe just an hour or so. So you want to make sure that if you did something like this, that you were to make sure that it is in the level position. Now, what I'm going to show here, let's see if I can grab these 4 units, and let me just change them slightly. And what you could do is you could simply just, on this particular bracket here, move this bracket up to the height here, and then just make your own extension piece from here to here so that you are at that level option on this particular application. So let me go ahead and just press those back down. And yeah, so let's go ahead and look at the footprint of heat. And by the way, we are meeting the clearances to combustibles. The heater itself from this point here up is 6 inches of clearance, and from this point down out below the heater is 18 inches of clearance. If I showed that here, you can see this is the 18-inch clearance, and this is the above clearance, 6-inch clearance on all 4 and top sides. Let's go back over here real quick just to mention this other thing. This is why I brought up the door, is because of the fact that the door needs to be outside of that clearance zone, and where I have these heaters right now, they are outside the clearance zone. Also, if I was to place the other units on here so you can see this, you can see that these are outside of the clearance of the door. Now the door could be a non-combustible glass and steel frame. However, you don't want this door to be in that combustible range if in fact that ray is going to penetrate that. And let's say you were to leave this door open all the time, you don't want that ray to be in the combustible range if that is the case. So I have this at a 7-foot height off the finished floor, and you want to make sure that we're meeting that clearance below the heater itself. So I'm going to turn these off here and go back to this here, showing the footprint of heat. So if we were to look at the footprint of heat here, let's see here, and looking at it from this position here, you can see that we're heating up a good section of the heaters. I have these centrally located within this, distance from here to here. But again, we're not heating up the whole entire space perfectly. Again, the seating up position here, your upper body is not going to be feeling that ray. And the section over here would not be feeling that ray as well. Now, going back to what I stated before, this space being enclosed, with the side panels here, for instance, you would need to turn the heat down. So it really depends on how many people are actually in the position or in the seating positions or occupied, how much heat you need. But the first section that I showed is something that really allows you to, alter how much heat you like in each individual space for each individual customer. This is going back to that here, and just want you to see that, you could turn this one if you, had individual switches. You could turn this one off, this one on, and, yada yada on each one of these units. So you can really control how much heat each independent person is, feeling basically. So that's kind of why I like it. Now, another thing too is, if you were to use a control system, this being a 4,000 watt, this being a 4,000 watt, you would want to make this a dual control or zone, let's call it. And that would be that these two heaters would be hooked up to one zone, the two in the middle, zone 2, the two in the ends, zone 3. And that will give you the option to adjust the temperature at all times. All right, so let's go ahead and go back to this and go back to what I showed before. And the same thing is true here. You could go zone 1 and zone 2, and these would be hooked up to the same control, and these you can dim separately from these two over here. And again, the main thing is that I'm just not 100% appreciative of the fact that we're not heating up the edges 100%. But this would work, and it wouldn't be terrible. You would have some customers that would love it and some that may not. So all right, well, I hope this has helped. If you're looking for some assistance with your outdoor heating application and you would like us to review your plans, send your information into designs@patioheat.com. I'm Steve, and please tap that like button if you find this video useful. We don't advertise, we're not monetized. YouTube does not support our channel unless we receive a thumbs up from our viewers, and we truly appreciate that. Thank you very much. Have an excellent day.